We should do that actually. We can get her on for a Splatoon episode at some point.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
We had Kaz on last episode.
No,
Or
2 episodes ago, and then
and
Danny.
Danny.
So I was
and
gonna.
we're
Danny.
inclusive-ish.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
I mean, you are hitting our big diversity notes. Like,
Yeah.
our program isn't super diverse. It's fine.
What do you mean it's not super? I think our program is more diverse than most other programs, honestly.
Yeah. Speaking of diversity,
Welcome back to Vandals Offline, episode 15. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you very much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Are we actually using this transition? Welcome back to Vandals Offline, ladies and gentlemen. We're at episode 15 now. Doing pretty good numbers so far. I mean, it's it feels a lot more official now that we have video and audio and we have like an editor. So this is a lot of fun. I'm very glad I can be here. I'm joined by my 2 lovely co-hosts. To my left here, you want to introduce yourself for me, homie?
I'm Carson, or Weedles. Everyone knows me. I haven't been here in...
I don't think everyone does know you. You
4
have not been here
episodes?
for
Since
like a
the
month.
episode where we got video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was here on the first video episode, and I have not been back
Yeah.
since.
Well, we're
Not
glad.
my fault.
No, definitely not. But we're glad to have you back.
And
then
I'm
my other
back
co-host.
another week, Colby Stix. Yeah.
Welcome. As always, I'm ZG FenRir, Vincent, and today we have a very lovely guest joined on the couch with us today. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself for us?
Hopefully most people watching this do know me. My name's Sam. I'm the student athlete manager here. I also go by Hummus, and I'm the annoying person who pings you in Discord to get your stuff done.
Hummus is one of the, I would argue, backbones of our communications department with our players and our leagues and stuff. I do not know what would happen if we were to remove her from that. So she does good work for us.
I think a couple PCs would get lit on fire within
yeah.
like 3 weeks. It's fine. It's fine. I do think that these 2 are happy that they're no longer playing, though, because it means that y'all are no longer getting pinged annoyingly with, hey, I need you to do your disclosure forms.
But I still get the ping, though.
You do.
I still get the
It's
ping,
just
though.
not
I think I get pinged
directed
more.
at you now.
It's just not for me. It's for someone else, and I go, yep. I don't need to look at this.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you signed on the line where it said you were going to help me out by being a team coordinator. And so,
Well, yeah. I mean, I was forced to, but...
I got a random ping in the Valorant chat like over the weekend. I never got added or anything, but I was in there and it was like, look at this message. I'm like, why? What was the point of me seeing that message? But Discord was like, you have to see it.
It was not a helpful message.
I was going to say,
either.
I did ping you in random chats over the last week, but it wasn't Valorant.
Yeah. I was just like, it was almost like Cheese probably added me, realized he added the wrong person, deleted it.
The
But
thing is, like, you go by CS Stix. I don't know who he would have been trying to at.
I don't know. He's at me before in the chat and just said, I miss us. Did you see that?
I did.
That was a very funny.
I saw
That was a
that.
very funny interaction.
Old
He says that
teammates.
to a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, they
Nobody's
were,
ever tagged me and said, I miss us. So,
well, you didn't have a bond like those 2 did.
Yeah, we
no.
You also
played
didn't
one
break the
semester
bond,
of
so
varsity
That
Valorant.
first iteration of that Valorant team
We were so
did
bad.
numbers.
Yeah.
And by
They-
numbers, I mean they racked up those losses.
They existed.
By numbers, I mean we were at VGC for so many hours for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eee.
Yeah. It's fine. I have confidence in Valorant varsity this season.
You
I will
didn't
one-
seem very
I will-
confident in that
Yeah,
sentence.
no, that did not sound very confident. I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm flashing back to the past 2 the lands we did where
Right.
it did not go very well. But I'm still looking at that roster because, I mean, they almost beat Boise State yesterday. Like, they are actually, despite what they did against CBC and Wazoo, are a competent roster. They just have to be cohesive. And I will give them credit. They're finally starting to practice and listen to each other. Like, they have a whole playbook for this season. Like, I don't know what's in the playbook, but I know they have a whole playbook.
I did see the Google Sheets playbook that they have, and they're getting really nerdy with it too. They're like, oh yeah, these agents are what's meta on this map and this map, but this is what their win rates are, and so there might be an agent that's not as meta, but his win rate's really high for whatever reason, and so they're looking at it very
Yeah.
deeply.
I keep seeing Diabolic in here, and he's
Mhm.
got maps pulled up, and he's messing
Yeah.
with agents in certain spots. So they're
Which
putting in work.
it's really nice to see them taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the same team that walked out of a loss last season and looked at each other and went, maybe we should practice.
Mm.
So, like,
It's a fair reaction.
you know, it took a lot of self-reflection to get there and not just blame the opposing team for being better. And we'll see what happens this season. I've got there's 2 new freshmen on that roster because I've got Jimmy and Carter on that roster. And we'll see what happens. I mean, season starts next week, so Wazoo doesn't really mean anything.
No, we don't talk about those.
Yeah.
We don't talk about those lands.
07s, some may say.
That's crazy. I hadn't thought about that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
We'll put it up
Okay.
on screen while we meet
Yeah.
chat. Well, speaking of next week, our regular season is actually going to end up starting next week for the majority of our games.
It does, and if people could see inside my brain, there's that one little tiny brain cell dude running around with everything on fire right now.
Like
It's only
that
the one.
Like the
SpongeBob
SpongeBob meme.
Yeah, it's that one. Did somebody say only one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the one brain cell on fire, no?
It's just the one brain cell on
Yeah.
fire.
Okay, good.
I had like 4 like a month ago when we started this whole process because Wayne looked at me and we decided it was a really good idea to take what was a 3-week process and make it a week process.
Yeah.
And I about died that week. I think that Friday before player orientation, I think Wayne and I were here until 11. Like just trying to get things done. It was y'all all went home, said peace, that's it, I'm out, and then it was just Wayne and I.
Yeah.
But like that was the hard part. Kind of. It's surprisingly difficult to get 5 people all moving in the same direction to do forms. Like surprisingly difficult to make video gamers care about the requirements to compete. And then we've got most of those sorted. Now it's just wrangling up like orientation quizzes and player fees, and then making sure that academic requirements are actually being satisfied before we start the season. That way I don't have to bench people and we can actually like start the season properly. And then everything's going to light on fire next week because that's what it does week 1 of the regular season. Like even if we are prepped heading into it, the opposing schools aren't prepped heading into it. The website will probably crash. I give it until about Tuesday before like the whole site goes down because it historically does that on Valorant night. Week 1, like it's going to be fine. I'll have like 3 brain cells running around on fire next week.
Yeah. At least ECAC just dropped CS rather than trying to figure out how to run a Face-It League. So
That's fair.
I say it every time CR6 makes us register for something. I hate Face-It. Because the problem is my job description, if you had to make me say it in one bullet point, is make sure our teams are doing the right thing. And to do that, I have to be on the rosters to see the chats, to see the check-ins, to see who we're playing and all that information.
Right.
And then that means that I have to be rostered as a sub for CR6. And I do not play Rainbow Six Siege.
I did not know that's how you had to get rostered on that team. That is very
I am
funny.
rostered as a sub actively. We're going to see if we can't finagle it. But I am currently taking a sub slot. Which
they're not coach slots. There should be on Face-It, but
that's not how R6 had it set up.
Huh.
I'm going to see if the admins can rigmarole it because I need access to it, but also, trust me, we don't want to watch me play Rainbow Six. It's about as bad as FenRir subbing in over the summer because he did that for a CR6 match. Somebody overslept an alarm. He was the final sub, and I got an all-caps text message 2 minutes before game time at Hummus. Get your husband in game now.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Bless his heart, he plays Rainbow Six better than I do. He went to direction, and they told him, no, don't go that way. And he went, I got a kill.
yeah, that's
You're
how I
like,
feel
He
playing
got
R6.
his. As long as you get yours, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
This is true. It's about as bad as when I played Valorant for tryouts. It's fine.
That was more for fun than anything else.
That was a matter of principle of if I'm going to ask y'all and our general staff to play games they don't play for tryouts to make numbers, then I should do it myself.
That's fair.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
It's a little bit of a matter of principle thing, and I think you were hiding from me because otherwise I would have made you do it because you were on one of my Valorant rosters.
I played against you in that match.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
we
yeah, you did.
almost did. I
Yeah,
think
we
you
were
played.
supposed to.
I
and
was
then we got
literally
subbed out.
warming up, and then
Yeah.
I got subbed out by another staff member.
Yeah.
So I
We
didn't
were
actually have to.
queuing into the game,
Yeah.
and then Ollie was like, "I'm subbing you out." I'm like, "You're playing on my setup."
Yeah,
He's like, "Okay."
pretty much. Yeah, it's been a lot setting up through this last month
Yeah.
before the season.
I've been talking to Wayne about this because this is it? I think it's my 3rd season doing this because I really kind of took control of this kind of role under 4 title iterations ago.
Mhm.
Last fall. And you would think if you've done it 3 times, you'd have it figured out. I don't. Because, like, I don't know how close you guys have looked other than me yelling at you not to touch my spreadsheets because it's very specifically color-coded. But, like, we have the tryout form that they do ahead of time that we check in on, and I can get to preliminary rosters. Like, that part works. And then it all just kind of falls apart in the middle until we end up at final rosters. Like, it just kind of... And I don't know how to fix that part yet. And doing that in 1 week was awful, and I don't think we're going to do that again.
No, I don't think that we're going to do that again. Especially, and the other thing we're not going to do is have the lands so early either. I think we're just going to take those preseason era of our teams to really settle on. Here's what our team rosters are going to look like. Here's us actually sitting down, getting to know one another if we need to do that, and then practicing up because it's been a whole summer since we have competed with each other.
Yeah.
And
I
things along those lines, so.
I love the concept of preseason lands. Like, don't give me that look. We've had many meetings about this, the 4 of us, and you know that I'm not against moving them. I love the concept of preseason lands. We don't have the ability to run it properly, and I think it does a disservice to our players.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I think they're a cool idea as well as like a start of season kind of thing.
Yeah.
We clearly proved that we were not ready for that. We won 1 game between 2.
We don't talk about that.
Out of 10 total games.
Just bleeper Carson for that one. Like, just...
Yeah. I think that what it should probably be, if we are going to do something like that, is we can make it a LAN. It's just not a competitive LAN. So we can still invite people like WSU and CBC and Montana over and be like, hey, it's the beginning of the season. We just want to say hi, check in with you guys, and have a just fun event.
I think
and it doesn't have to be competitive at all. It's just us hanging out with each other.
I mean, it still has the problem of, like, broadcast and having staff not be ready and having rosters not be ready. Like, it doesn't solve a lot of problems. And I think the other part of that is, like, Joel, he runs Columbia Basin College.
Right.
Great guy. Don't think he does things that aren't competitive. Like, that man is, like, hyper competitive to the extreme. And I respect it. It just, I don't think if we're like, hey, we're just going to casually do a thing, that in his mind, that's worth the drive.
Yeah, I don't think it would be worth the drive for them to come over. But, like, WSU, they would come over. Like, they would come over for just, like, the Smash weekly tournaments.
I mean, we went over, they did, it was Utah, New York, Montana weekend. Like, that whole weekend. That was a weekend. They did a arena tournament for League, the arena game mode for League, where it's like 2v2s and you get 8 2s and it dukes it out.
Oh, is it like the Fortnite thing, but not?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
We love Fortnite.
Okay.
It's 8 sets of 2s and you're League champs and you're duking it out and you get power-ups and all that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But, like, I had a couple of my players go over there for that, and they actually won the whole darn thing. Granted, they won it off of rock, paper, scissors because they tied for top, so they rock, paper, scissors for it.
Hey, a win's a dub's a
A
dub.
win is a win. Like, something casual like that between Wazoo and us is super, super doable.
Yeah.
More so when we host than when they host because they charge us to go over there when they host.
Yeah.
If this makes it to Wazoo admin, you should really stop doing that.
Fair enough.
But you did mention Montana, though. I want to get something going with Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it has been 2 years now since we've gotten to know those guys because we've done 2 sets of Big Sky Championships. And, like, Cass, he's basically Montana's version of me. He and I, we played team fight tactics together back when I was competing on our TFT roster, like, 2 years ago.
Like, you duo together, or you just competed against each other?
We were against each other.
Okay.
But it was... the ECAC has TFT VCs, so we'd all hang out and, like, stream our screens and, like, it was chill. Still have never met the guy.
Oh, wow.
I don't think Wayne has been to Montana yet because he was in New York that weekend. That guy has been.
I met him. He already had a weird obsession with me.
He really liked you.
Was that the guy that was at Blast? Or no?
No, he was one of the Montana players though.
Oh, okay.
One of their Rocket League players was at Dallas when we were there for the event.
Wasn't that a CS event?
Yeah.
Okay.
He sat like front row down on the floor, and I kept seeing him on camera, like on the screen when they do a flyby. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah, he was
I've
on
met
stream
him
with
before.
Because he was one of the most energetic people in the
Yeah.
front row. So.
League MSI was up in Vancouver this year, and for those of you who don't know, I do a lot of shoutcasting for League of Legends. Like, I really put myself into it this summer. And I was sitting on my couch watching MSI from home because I was sad because I had work, so I couldn't make it over there. Getting live videos from Wayne, by the way. Like, he was just Discording me live videos from the arena. And I'm like, I can't figure out whether I appreciate this or hate this.
He's just rubbing it in.
He wasn't trying to. Like, he was trying to be like, I want you to see how cool this is because you couldn't be here. But it was really walking that line. But one of my co-casters popped up on camera, and I just go out loud, oh, he got a haircut. Person making dinner is like, who? And for that brief moment, I had to figure out how to explain why I know this random guy.
Fair. Same thing. I was sitting next to Cole. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
To be fair, we tried to make that trip a business trip. We were like, can the school cover it?
We didn't
And
try.
Wayne's like, no.
we did, like,
And we were like,
maybe.
but what if we take pictures of their broadcast and we get insider information, which we did do.
We did
And then
do
you did that
that.
anyway, yeah.
We did that anyway.
Wow, we would have done it either way.
Yeah.
But would have been cool.
It would have been very cool.
And then we went, how does that work?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Still have no idea.
We're just gonna make the business trip dream hack this year. That's the
Are
one
we going to
we're gonna make.
Atlanta or are we going to Dallas?
I think we're a little too late for Atlanta.
Did they already do
It's like
Atlanta?
mid-October, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Be cool though.
We'll go to Dallas.
We'll go to Dallas.
With a little luck, we'll be in Dallas in the spring.
That would be also very cool.
Because with a little luck, we will make nationals this year.
That'd be pretty sick.
Little luck, a lot of skill.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be sitting at IM the whole time.
Speaking of a lot
Oh.
of skill, you're kind of the person who has the general overview of all of our teams, right?
Yeah.
How well do you think that we how do you think we stack up this year compared to some of the other years that we've competed?
It's really, really interesting. Because we're down teams from where we were at last semester, which I'm not really complaining about because I was kind of at my limit. Like
Mhm.
it was
Right.
I'm this person where I like knowing the rosters. I like being able to have conversations when I pass them on campus. Like I like knowing our players, and we were kind of reaching that capacity where I was like, I don't really know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like that because I'm one of the very few people in this program who does have the privilege to get to know and interact with everybody. Because like you really only interact with our varsity players. Like you guys were kind of siloed in your own games for a while. You're not as much anymore, obviously, but like. And I want each one of them, and I've harped on this so many times in meetings, you guys know this. I want, whether it's our national runner-up CS varsity team or it's our 0-7 league JV team, I want all those players to feel like they matter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice having a couple fewer teams. I actually know people, and like we're there. We still have some really good teams. Rainbow Six Varsity, top 64 in the country in CR6 last season. It's a slightly different roster. I had a couple swaps, but I didn't really go down in skill level at all. These guys, okay, they got a little bit brutalized last weekend. They went 7-2 against Texas A&M and 7-1 against Cumberland. But you got to keep in mind, like those two programs are two of the best programs in the country.
Mhm.
I think they are. I think they're going to stack up really, really well. Rocket League is sitting at, because they compete CCS for Big Sky. Their season's already going. They're sitting 3-0 right now, facing Sac State tomorrow. Tomorrow when we're filming this. Last week when this goes out.
Yeah.
Time. And, like, I'm looking at them to get a top 25 bid here pretty soon
Mhm.
because they took down number 11 Northern Arizona.
Right.
Like, I'm slightly salty they didn't get a single vote this past week, but it's fine. We just keep winning. And they're kind of our ticket to nationals. CECC, we've been working with them to try and get Big Sky bids back because, as you may or may not have known, Big Sky as a conference had all the conference bids to CECC. And Big Sky as a conference didn't give one hoot about esports because esports didn't really exist in the conference. So it ended up being, I think, just a Rocket League bid for a very, very long time because Big Sky Rocket League exists. You have Idaho State, which is one of the top teams in the nation. You have Sac State, which is really good. You have Northern Arizona, which is really good. Like, you have 3 powerhouses in our conference. So we had the Rocket League bid. Wayne and I worked very hard to get Big Sky Esports as a whole built back up. Part of why we're back-to-back champions in Rainbow Six and Counter-Strike. We've got the trophies to prove it. And then we're trying to get the bids back to nationals, because the problem is when we don't have the conference bids, we have to try and qualify through West Open, which, I mean, Smash made it to the West Regional qualifiers last year. But when we go West Open, we have to compete against all of California. And most titles we cannot compete against the really good California schools. It's literally just they have 100,000 students and we've got like 12.
Yeah.
Population-wise, we can't compete.
To be fair, I'd rather play against the California schools than Texas. I don't know what they're feeding them in Texas. All of the Texas schools are nuts.
Barbecue.
Yeah, it's just sweet tea and ribeye, and that's all they eat all the time.
Well, because I think what it is Texas is a football state.
Yeah.
So if you're not a football player, you got to do something else. And apparently that thing is video games.
Yeah, it is an esports state. That in California.
Yeah. So I think we've got a good shot at some of our big titles. But, I mean, I love to win. Winning would validate all the stress I've gone under for the last month. But I don't... Okay. Going to Texas would be really freaking cool, seeing that giant arena. I got photos of it because Wazoo went down there for Playfly's Tournament of Champions or whatever. They got smoked promptly by San Jose State.
Yeah, I do remember that.
For like the 5th time that season. Like, it was bad. But, like, it's a really cool space and a cool setup, and I want our teams to go there. I want to go there. And I have to live vicariously through the teams because I can't go to a place that our teams aren't going. So I need our teams to do well so I can go on those cool trips.
That's fair.
But I have a lot of teams that they're just not going to be competitive at that level because we are Idaho. And if I'm being realistic, we've got 12,000 people. I'm not suddenly going to have a, Grandmaster League of Legends team drop in my lap. I'm not going to have a Radiant Valorant team drop in my lap.
Yeah.
I lost track of where Radiant was in there. Like,
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I have to make do with what I have.
Yeah.
And what I have is I have a lot of kids who have that, I call it the farmer mentality, where they're willing to put the work in. Like, they don't care if they lose. They're willing to show up week after week and put the work in.
Right.
And I respect the crap out of that. And they're not going to be nationally relevant. I don't think, like Rainbow Six JV, they're never going to be nationally relevant. Our Rainbow Six JV level plummeted from last year because I pulled JV up to varsity, which is what's supposed to happen. Like, it kind of plummeted.
Mm-hmm. But
But if they do well in their division, I'm happy. Because to me, a Division 5 title is just as good as a Division 1 title. Like, if we're winning in our division, I'm happy with that. And also then I can go to Wayne and say, hey, Wayne, you need to tell your bosses we need more trophy cases.
I think
Because we are once again out of trophy room, I believe.
the players, I think, would feel the same way about that.
yeah.
Like, even if I'm in a lower division than other people, but I'm still winning in that division, I'm feeling good about the wins.
Yeah.
I don't think about the division that, like, when I played, I don't think of where I'm at in the division. I just think of, I got to play this team. They're in the same division as me.
Yeah.
If I beat them, we're better.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it still feels just as good.
Which, divisions is an interesting thing because I'm kind of terrified to see where they end up. Because divisions in the spring were, I don't think we've gone 15 minutes yet, so slightly goofy. I'm going to settle there. I'm going to settle for slightly goofy. I think a great example of that was our League of Legends teams. Last season, my League of Legends JV team was, I think, bronze, silver average.
Mm-hmm.
My varsity team had a diamond on it. They were a high plat, low emerald average. They were in the same division.
Oh, wow. They didn't ever have to play each
Crazy.
other, did they?
They were different groups in the same division.
Okay.
But JV was playing teams at varsity's level.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And it doesn't work. Like, and I mean, I've made some comments to ECAC staff coming in, because our current League of Legends JV roster includes myself and Wayne. And we are both incredibly busy trying to run the program, get all the stuff off the ground, keep it moving forward. Like, I don't I care about the players I'm playing with. I'm more than willing to play on the team so that they can compete, so that they have that opportunity to win. But I'm also not going to sacrifice 8 weeks of games and practices and all of that for us to not have literally any shot at winning. Like, the difference between Plat Emeralds and Irons, you're not going to practice hard enough to get there in a season. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping divisions are better this season. I'm a lot scared they won't be.
Yeah. I know divisions were bad for CS because there was one division.
Oh gosh.
There was one division and 2 groups. So when we had a JV team, we were in different groups. Varsity was in Group A and JV was in Group B, but it was playing the same teams.
That's weird.
They do a really good job at getting separate teams in different groups when they can. I will give them credit for that. But I mean, to be fair, CS ran into the problem where that was all the teams they had.
Yeah. That's why there wasn't more divisions. There just wasn't enough teams.
League didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
Every group you had, because you had 4 groups in the league divisions, every group had like 2-3 teams that were all about the same lower level that just got smoked all season. And I'm like, I feel like we could have made a division for us. Like, it would have been a smaller division. It would have been a 2-group division. But I'm like, I feel like we could have done a little something
Did
here.
they just have like a thing that was like, there is 16 teams in Division A, 16 teams in Division B, right? And then they just went off, these are the highest ranked teams. That's the 16, that's the 16, and then whoever's left is in this last division.
That's not how they're supposed to do it. That's not how they said they did it. But I think they might have done it that way.
Yeah.
Because there were just, what's supposed to happen is, I'll say 5 because most of our games are 5. Obviously, Rocket League's 3, Rivals is 6. They look at the roster you submitted. They take the average rank of the top 5 highest ranked people on that team. That's your average. And then they try and do cutoffs, like maybe for Rocket League GC 2 averages and above or in a division GC 1s. You are always going to have teams that are on the low end of a division and teams that are on the high end of a division. You can't get around that. The problem was that they made the fall, we had like 2 or 4 group divisions. So you're looking at 16 to 32 teams, and your range is a lot smaller. In the spring, I think one of the divisions had F groups in it, and I'm trying to do the math on F right now while I'm talking. I think that's 8. That's 6.
That's close.
It was close. But, like, that's 48 teams. Like, that could have been 2 divisions. And so I think it's just looking at that and getting that balance there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how we're going to end up. I'm not part of that process. I put my teams in. We're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best when those come out later this week. Time is hard.
And if it's like that, we hope we're the ones that are just rolling through it.
Well,
even though that's still boring.
It's fun to be the top of a division, though.
It does feel good,
It's not great, though. Because, like, League Varsity, for example, or you guys are a great example as well, is when you have those curb stomp games because you were just that much better skill-wise, you don't learn anything from those games.
No, you don't learn, but it is fun.
And you get complacent.
Maybe
you do
for
get
Rocket
complacent.
League,
where you can go 12
CS,
up on a team.
It's every game.
For CS, we cooked the entire season and didn't have a hard team until Grand Finals.
Yeah, but exactly what you're
Both
saying
times.
is very true because they're the best example.
Yeah.
They were rolling, and
Yeah.
then once they actually had competition, they were complacent, and it just hit them
What
like a
was
truck.
working the whole season stopped working.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
And
but
at that point, it's too late to really pivot a strategy and
Yeah.
fix it. Like, you're game 3, and you're like, we're going to try.
No matter how fun it is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad for you to be better as a team. It's bad competition. It's just
And
bad in general.
I was having this conversation with a couple of our teams earlier this week because ECAC is doing Titans Division, which they always do. So you have Titans, and then you start at Division A. And Titans is your Fishers of the world, like those really, really top-tier programs. And a couple of my teams are like, well, why didn't you put us in Titans? Because it was request only, and I made sure that none of our teams went in Titans. And the thing is that, like, I do want us playing up to that level. I don't want us competing at that level.
Right.
Because the other problem is it's one thing to lose in a scrim. It's one thing to lose in practice, especially if you know you're scrimming up. Because all of our teams should be scrimming up. There's somebody better than us in every single title we compete in. We should be scrimming up. I'm a big believer in that. But there's a very big difference to the mental between, that was a hard team, we learned a lot, but we lost. compared to we're competing out of our league and we're 0-5 on this season.
Yeah.
And I told him we'd see how this semester looked. We would assess for Titans for next season because I do have a couple teams that could be good enough for Titans. I just don't want to put them there.
Not yet.
Fair.
Not
It's
yet.
like a trial period. I think especially since pretty much all of our teams have been shaken a little bit as far as who's on the roster and what our compatibility is like. And so I think it makes sense that we at least give them a semester to just kind of figure that out.
I don't
and
know
see
if
what-
there. I think there's one varsity roster that I can think of that didn't have a single change.
Which one?
Which one?
Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon
Yeah, I
did
think-
not
Yeah,
change.
they did.
They had a change.
They had a change?
Percival's new.
Wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
right,
then we
we
have
had- we didn't have a
new
single
rosters
team.
for every single team then.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, you can see it in some of the team's chemistry. Like
Yeah.
they're still playing well, but it's not
What it
quite
was.
to where they need to
Mhm.
be yet. But they're
think-
getting there.
They are getting there. That is what I liked about doing like all the tryouts in a week is it meant that they had 3 more weeks to practice, get smoked by Wazoo, like they had that time together before we hit the season. But no, it's hard because even like I have most of my rosters, like most of my varsity rosters had like the core stay the same. Like I kept 3 maybe across the board. R6 I think kept 3, Valorant kept 3, League kept 3, I think Overwatch kept 3. Like they had those, but even just the 2 new people, it's a completely different ball game.
Especially in the
Oh,
roles that they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going to go
So-
to.
Because like for we had the Overwatch guys on a couple episodes ago.
Yep.
And Brawler was saying that not only did they get 2 new players, they had 2 new players. Well, I guess just 1 new player, but he didn't want to switch. Like he was set on this is the role I want to play.
Right.
So they are having to move Magic Turtle and Sandman around on the roles that they were because they were both their supports.
Yeah.
They got a hard
Yeah.
set support player, so now they have to figure out who's their new DPS. And so that was a team jumble that just happened because they got a new player.
right.
So
My problem is it happens again in the spring.
Yep.
Like I've got I'm graduating in the spring. I've got ideally junior Shiny Shoes who's on both my league and Smash varsity rosters. Ideally he's graduating in the winter.
right.
Caitlin, who's spearheading my Fortnite teams, is graduating in the winter. Like, I have just enough people graduating that we do that whole mix-up again in January.
Mhm.
Jack Simply J as well should be
Yeah.
graduating.
Simply
Is
J
he?
is dropping from Street Fighter. Yep. This is the last semester.
And so it also makes it really hard for competitions like CLOL and CVAL, because they do their once a year their spring season, and you have to register in December, and
So
you
have to
can
know your team.
you can change your
Mm.
roster before then, but you register in December, and I'm pretty sure they do rank snapshot in December. So if I changed my roster, say, I think Royce is supposed to graduate here soon. So say Royce graduated, and I got Quentin back on. Like, that rank jump would completely skew where we were at in divisions.
Right.
And I also have to know I'm going to have that team coming back in the spring.
Yeah.
And that makes my job really, really hard. And what also impacts that is we have, I think, half our program thereabouts are engineers.
I think
That
it's
is-
like 38%. It's
yeah,
pretty high.
it's that's
Yeah.
shouts out at us being an engineering school.
We are, and it's great. Go them. But also then all of a sudden they get hit with their semester and they realize, oh, crud, this semester's going to be way too much with this. I need to take a step back. And
Mhm.
then, boom, it's early January and I'm down one of my main components. It's like,
Right. That's probably the biggest issue with collegiate esports as opposed to like professional esports is we have other stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, we have classes, we have jobs, we have other things that we can't set aside 8 hours a day to play our game and be the best we can at our game. Whereas in professional esports, that is their job. So and the cycling of players through different what? Okay.
The cheering.
Oh, okay. Through
they're
different
scrimming up. So I think that
yeah,
was.
through different semesters. Like the CS team had 3 new players this season, so
Yep.
it's a whole new team pretty much. and
Y'all got
it's-
murdered with graduations.
Yeah, we did. So it's just how the collegiate esports scene works, and it's hard to compete when, some of these schools are buying pro players.
It's kind of the same
I
as
think
like
even taking out the buying of pro players, there
Well-
are just some schools, like I don't think St. Clair, I think they do a little bit, but they don't really buy pro players.
They don't buy
They-
full teams. They buy a couple players.
They just have that good of a program and that renowned of a program. It's like if you're playing college football, you want to go to the Ohio State University, or you want to be on Auburn, or you want to be on
Right.
like, okay, not Florida. Actually, Florida sucks right now. Georgia. Like you want to be on those rosters because of the name and what they can give you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not that. And I also think it makes it really, really hard when we're trying to pitch ourselves to administration of like, it's really great that we have back-to-back Big Sky titles in CS. Are we going to win another one this year?
Probably not.
I was going to let that be a rhetorical question.
Maybe.
It's possible.
guess you'll have to see.
Yeah.
Like, my R6 team is good now. I start losing them one at a time to, graduation and all of that, which we're collegiate. I want to see them graduate. I want to see them go on and have great careers. Remember we exist, become alumni, and give us a whole bunch of money so we can create our own arena. I'm not selfish at all in wanting them to graduate. But, like...
I am. Please do that.
But, like, when that happens, it's really hard to be like, oh, we win, because all of a sudden we don't win. And winning's not everything for me. I like winning. I like getting new hardware. Winning's not everything. But winning is a lot for administration. Like, they care that we win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Also, just to pull back a little bit, when I was saying the buying of pro players, I don't necessarily mean like that they're better teams. It's their individual skill is just better, which is why we struggle against some of these big schools, because they just have more players that they have a bigger pool to pick from, and they just choose the better players.
yeah.
So even if they don't have a good team, they have really good individuals, and that just stomps. So like with
There's only so
Northwood-
much you can do with good team cohesion.
Yeah, with Northwood buying 5 pro players, they bought 5 pro players for Marvel Rivals from different pro teams.
Who's their sixth?
From active rosters.
From
is the
active roster,
problem.
they are currently competing for pro teams. But
Who's their sixth, though? You
just
need
some
6
guy,
for rival.
some guy
It's
from
a
Mor-
guy
from
who was, I think,
Northwood.
on their team last semester.
So they brought 5 pro players, not because they're all on the same team and they have really good team. It's just they're very good individual
Yeah.
players, and they're like
And they
Hands-
could get
they
them,
bought
yes.
some of the best players in the world at that role.
Hands diffs are real.
Yeah.
Like we were scrimming on production actually heading into Wazoo weekend. We scrimmed varsity for league,
Mhm.
and literally some of those were just I got hands diffed. Like I had the right idea. My brain said shoot here, he'll be there. He was not there. I got hands diffed straight up. Like that is real. And what really really sucks is you can't tell the players that. Like, the players know that. But I
Yeah.
can't have the pep talk at halftime when we're down be like, all right, team,
They're just
we're
better.
just worse.
Yeah.
Like,
That's. I think that's how it is sometimes. Even though
Yeah.
in, like athletics, like you'll go into they go in the locker room. They go, "We're down
Okay, but
31-0 right now.
but
It's
in-
not looking good."
or you can be Wazoo and lose 59-10 to a no-name Texas school.
Or Idaho beating a team 90-0.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But, like, at least in football, when that happens, you get paid to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you get paid so they can stomp you. So at least you can go back to your locker room at halftime and be like, well, guys, we're losing, and be surrounded by piles of money. We don't have that.
yeah, we just go, hey, we got monster cans.
That you can't have, like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I think there is something to that though of in gaming. Sometimes your opponent is just having a good day, like I know this is like we've had this on every single time we talk about team stuff. Is a single player can't win a game, but they can make it just that much. Like
they
that
can make
level,
it that much easier.
Yeah, like you can take a player and they can play on a worse team, and just the team will still win just because that player played so well.
But it's like
So-
I can't. That's not a reasonable pep talk for the teams.
No.
And so it's got to be like, all right, let's communicate better. Let's focus on it. Even if I know in the back of my head we're supposed to lose, that doesn't mean we're gonna lose.
Right.
Because just like a player can have a really, really good day, our players have good days. They can also have a really, really bad day.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say you lose because of a player who's having a bad day, but you don't always win when they're having a bad day.
Yeah, sometimes it can be the determining factor. Like
Yeah.
Rocket League, if it's a 3v3, one person's having a really off day, you're way at a disadvantage to
Yeah.
doing almost nothing.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna get stomped in that.
Sometimes that third person could just be more, like, cause more problems for the team than help.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And I think I want our teams to be the best version of themselves they can be. We're never going to have a St. Clair level team. We're never going to have a Northwood level of team. We're never going to have a Maryville level of team. Like, it's not, we're Idaho, it's not going to happen. But I want them to be the best Idaho Vandals team that they can be.
Right.
And I think that's what bothers me so much. Last season, the way it ended really, really bothered me because we were really used to making really deep playoff runs
Yeah.
here and there. And then we just didn't last season.
It was bad.
It was really, really bad.
Pretty much consistently every single one of our JTV teams went further than our varsity teams
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
It was insane, actually.
And I think we only had, generally speaking, we generally get a couple teams that place, like top 3. Dohune placed 3rd in TFT. Mario Kart won their division.
Yep.
CS got 2nd.
Yep.
That was it.
We have around 12 titles, by the way.
Yeah,
that
we
had
competed.
more
So
last
I think
season.
it was after the first week of playoffs. We had like 4 teams in playoffs.
yeah, it was bad.
We dropped like over half.
We went from being really busy every day to being like,
We have
no
nothing.
game today.
Yeah.
We have one
It
this
was it was
week.
really bad.
And I've been trying, so League Varsity, they lost their playoff match that they were supposed to win.
Mhm.
And I was on the road to Utah on that one because somebody, and I'm not going to name names, failed their driver's background check, so I had to drive the entire 24-hour round trip by myself.
Allegedly. You weren't supposed. Allegedly, you did that.
That didn't happen. We teleported the other
Yeah,
4
yeah.
hours each way.
Yeah, that's how it works.
But I was driving. Honestly, that was a really comfortable car. Like we were driving Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and that sucker. Because I drive a tiny little sports car. Like I drive a Kia Forte. Like if I get in a car accident, I generally lose.
Oh yeah.
And then I was
Part of the fun.
and then I was driving a Jeep Grand Wagoneer and I got cut off in Salt Lake because, it's Salt Lake City. That happens. And I'm like, wait, I am the lane. I don't lose this. I just squash them like a bug. But I was watching that. I wasn't watching. I was listening to that playoff. I had my phone hooked up to the sound because, 12 hours Spotify. And I had the Rainbow Six boys in the back. Toby, who's not on my roster anymore because he's semi-pro. He's playing with a semi-pro
A
team right now.
tier 3 team, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He actually plays League like super, super casually. He was commentating from the very back seat
Well, that's
for
awesome.
me.
I did not know he was doing that. That's fun.
And so I am listening to them lose driving through this desert.
What a fun ride.
And what bothered me about them, and I think it happened to a lot of our teams, was because I was coaching them a lot more actively last season.
Mm-hmm.
The reasons they lost, the things that fell apart on them were the same things I'd seen week 1 of the season that never got fixed. And I'm going to go back to divisions a little bit because part of what happened to them was they had 2 of our JV level teams against them, then a bye week, then a really easy playoff team. They were basically a month cold heading into that. So I want divisions to be better, but also that's why I'm pressing scrimming so much.
Right.
Because I want us to have scrimmed people better than anybody we face in competition. Because the last playoffs was depressing, and I don't want to be that. I'm already going to be depressed because I've got seasonal depression and we're heading into winter. I don't want to be more depressed.
You don't want your 13th reason to be us, so that makes sense.
Yeah. 13th team
13th team to be the reason
to drop
why.
out of playoffs.
To drop out of playoffs round 1.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix it because that's one of the things is I'm really good at getting teams are registered. We are competing this season. Did that, got there. We're checking grades this season. We're going to have great grades, best GPAs we've ever seen. I've got that. Those are the things I'm good at. I don't know how to look at a Rainbow Six team that's struggling and tell them what to do better.
Part of that, I think, too, is the fact that realistically, because you are overseeing so many of these teams, that it realistically isn't your job to be able to pretty much puppy guard every single one of these teams
The
and be like,
problem is
here's the exact thing that you're doing wrong, and here's how you fix it.
the problem is there's nobody to fill those roles on most of our teams.
And that's where the issue really lies, I think. So
Because
We
I-
have
as a-
some.
we have a couple on some of our teams.
we have a
Yeah.
Wayne is
couple.
one of them, 2 of them actually, for a couple of them. You're a couple of them.
But,
Each of us have one game that we were
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
up that mantle on.
but even there, like, I mean, Wayne he's coordinating coaching for our varsity Valorant team.
Hmm.
Man does not know a lineup on Haven to save his life.
He doesn't know anything. He probably doesn't know what Haven is
Yeah,
actually.
he doesn't know which map is
Yeah,
Haven.
that one's a bad example.
I'm not sure he
I
knows
can-
the icon of Valorant on the PC.
No.
And it says what it's called.
We have some that won't be helpful in terms of like being able to tell them what they're doing
Yeah.
wrong. Hey, great for pep talk and morale.
Right.
Yeah, Wayne is great at that. He's really good at the teamwork, which Valorant needs.
Yes.
Valorant is
Yeah.
really good individual players, and their
Yes.
mental falls apart, and it booms. That's part of why I put you over Rocket League, because you at least kind of know what you're talking about in Rocket League, and I've got
I know
That
very
came-
much what I'm
that
talking
came
about.
out
in
way
that
meaner
game.
than I meant it to.
You're like
may
mid
not-
at Rocket
I'm
League,
like-
but you can
think
talk
of
to him.
think of Garrett, their coach.
Yeah.
They're all better than him,
they are,
but he can tell them what they're doing wrong or tell them things that'll
Yeah.
help.
that's how I am for
They can
League. I
get
get
through
out
it.
hands by all of our players, but also I've had the opportunity to cast tier 2. I have watched some of the best players in this country play and yapped about them playing
yeah.
and the things they're doing wrong. I can see it.
Mhm.
Don't ask me to execute it when I'm playing, because that's not
Yeah.
happening.
That's how I feel
but
with
I can
CS.
see it.
That's what coaches are.
Yeah.
That's
like
literally what their
90%
job
of the
is.
time. Actually, I'm gonna confidently say in a high level team,
Oh yeah.
100% of the time, the coach is worse than every player on the team
Guaranteed.
as far as mechanics go. But they have the knowledge. They are the person that stands behind them and goes, "What are you guys doing? We literally went over this yesterday for this prep game." Like,
And I think it's hard because, like, Garrett's a great example because he coaches, and half the time I'm in the comms, he's not even saying anything deeply profound related to
No.
Rocket League. He's just a really steadfast, calming presence for that team.
Yeah.
That it's great watching them all with him. But like that's where I feel we're lacking is we don't have the people for most of these teams to tell them how to get better.
yeah,
Yes, we have Garrett for Rocket League. Garrett really only focuses on varsity. He works full time. I appreciate his contribution to the program. If he ever watches this, love that man. But like JV and club are on you.
Yeah,
Like-
and I can look at the team very easily and be like, you're doing this wrong.
Right.
What I've like even with that, like you said, Garrett's not like the most like
He-
say you're doing this wrong and this wrong.
He
He's just a
can.
good
I've heard it before, but
he's the older brother.
substitutes and JV teams or like other teams that aren't playing, they know the game. Standing behind them, they see it. Like we had it with our varsity Rocket League team one time when we reverse swept. They were down 0-3. We taught like 2 subs to, like you guys are messing this and this up.
Yeah.
You switch this, we easily win it. We know you can do it. Switch the mental up, go back into the game, reverse sweep and win.
Yeah.
I will say completely off topic. I'm so glad that Rocket League varsity this season is not looking like a reverse sweep team because
I'm looking like a get swept tween.
they're undefeated.
Sorry,
this
the
season.
only okay. I've watched 2 games and one of them was the WSU game. So
They are undefeated in actual play this
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
And I mean,
and we
so
talked to Zach for an hour and a half one day, and he talked about ranch.
Rest in peace.
He
to that episode.
did talk
Rest in
about
peace
ranch.
that episode. It's a good episode.
I wish we
that'll-
had that. We
yeah.
lost that episode, Rocket League
I
episode.
know.
That's where that ranch clip came from.
The
Yeah.
thing, like Rocket League could have beaten Wazoo.
They should have.
yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't the mental, because I think you were in that Twitch with me because Logor streamed their NAU game that had happened on Thursday of that week.
Mhm.
That team that showed up and 3-1 NAU for the first time in program history when Northern Arizona was ranked number 11 in the nation is not the team that showed up to Wazoo.
It was the weirdest thing watching them warm up. They were losing every game,
They were,
and then as soon as the game starts, locked in, and just the team showed
Yeah.
up.
which I'd prefer.
yeah,
My problem with our old Rocket League varsity team which is pretty much the same as this one. And I'm not saying that this change was all
You're blaming
Boofless's
Seth.
fault.
You're
Seth's
just
problem.
blaming Seth.
Seth's the
Apparently.
problem.
I'm not saying it was his fault, but my problem with the old Rocket League team that I never could figure out how to fix was, unless we were playing a really bad school, we would always lose game 1 and game 2. And when you're sitting in a best of 7 series and you're just down 0-2, all it takes is a couple mistakes, a couple bad rotations, a couple double commits, and you've lost the entire series. I don't want us to be a reverse sweep team when it means we're throwing the first couple games.
Yeah.
Granted, we do really well at reverse sweeping with that roster. Like, they did it a lot. I don't want us to be in that situation where we have to reverse sweep, because most of the schools we were there were not good enough to put us in that situation.
I think it's just the gaming mentality of, all right, backs against the wall. We have nothing to lose at this point. We're just gonna play, and then they just like. There's a weird calm that washes over you when you're like,
Yep.
we're losing.
You play nervous.
You play well when you're down and you're like, what we have been doing isn't working. I'm just gonna chill. We're just gonna play and
Just
take
play
it.
the best game you can play.
You know,
Yeah.
and
in
see what
Rocket League,
happens.
just goal by goal. You just
Yeah.
and then they, as the game goes on, after they won one set, another one, then they're
And a lot of those
They're-
reverse sweeps,
yeah.
they had the lab behind them too.
true.
Because they had a pretty big crowd for the William and Mary reverse sweep because they were playing Oregon later that night.
Yeah.
And they almost reverse swept Oregon too. And I think that helps as much as people hate the cowbells. And I do understand why, because cowbells mid-round for a shooter is really, really awful.
Thank you.
I think the teams like them. The teams that they're not for hate them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And or if it's like Counter-Strike and we're viewing it and we're a round behind and they're talking about the next round and
Yeah.
then they just get a
Yeah.
cowbell in the ear.
Yeah.
It was more so the fact that we played the same day as Rocket League, and so every 30 seconds, where we either hear a "Come on, Vandals" or a
Let's
or
go,
cowbells
Vandals!
just ringing,
Wayne
and we're
is
just like,
surprisingly loud with his "Let's Go Vandals."
oh, we're like, I missed that calm. I don't even.
Well,
and then yeah,
WSU ruined his voice.
he did.
Yeah.
It
He
was
gave it
shot-
one good one.
yeah,
Gone.
vocal fry. Yeah, we heard it.
It was like one time and it went gone. Went well. That's the rest
He's like,
for him.
I think I want cowbells to come back, but like when we're in playoffs, to where we're not interrupting
Yeah.
other teams. Like if it's
Mm.
just Rocket League in a playoff match, let's bring out the cowbells. Let's bring out that. Especially now that I think broadcast is in a place where like we're gonna get it live for most things, and we
Yes.
fixed a lot of those
Yep.
problems. Because it was also really bad from the viewer perspective. Because I think CS National Title was a great example of that. We knew what happened before it happened because we were
Yes.
around behind.
Yeah.
And then you or whoever was running production was flipping to cams of the crowd. So literally I was sitting next to Renee that entire game. And Renee and I go way back. She used to be my roommate. And bless her, her and I would be like, all right, we're about to be on camera. Let's act happy or surprised
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And it was so bad.
Yeah, we would do that as well because we're like, okay, we gotta wait, 15 seconds,
yeah.
and then we'll cheer and we'll. We did it, I think, successfully one time.
There was
Yeah.
one time where you guys successfully
It
did
was
and I pulled the
mid-round.
cameras
We
up.
all turned around and went, yeah, and then went back and played the rest of the round.
Rocket League literally did that. I think it was WSU.
Yeah.
Zach just went, okay, we're a little bit ahead of them, so we need to wait until we hear them cheer, and then we'll cheer.
Yeah.
They scored, and they just sat there like this in silence. And then they heard someone cheer, and then we all just went, yeah.
Yeah, theirs was like 10 seconds. Ours was like 45.
Yeah.
And we're just like,
Yeah.
it was funny.
I appreciate the commitment to the bit.
Yeah, well, it was like we won pistol round, and it was like, yeah, it's gonna be, we're just sitting. So
I think Rocket League is so funny to me because I think it was last fall when they were doing CRL and some other event for us, and they had been playing Rocket League for like 8 hours, and they won their final game of the night, and it meant they played the next day too.
Yep.
And you flip to cams on them, and I have never seen these guys look more depressed. It's like they won a really hard fought game, and the cameras just flip, and they just look so sad as they're packing up.
was that the really long streams we did?
Oh my god, I think it
Or-
must have been because
It might have been one. I think, yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was.
Those streams were so dumb.
Hey, long sessions of gaming, great. Long sessions of competitive
Yeah.
gaming
Oh,
straight,
it's so hard.
awful.
Oh my
It's
Worst
so
thing
hard.
ever.
No,
Physically
would
and
say
mentally.
Yes.
it's different. When if you're playing like a tournament and it's best of ones and you're playing until you lose.
Yeah.
Those I think are great. They're fun.
Mhm.
You know, you're going, and then you're done. What happened there was they played a game, and then they're like, we don't play again for another 2.5 hours.
We have to
What
stay warm.
event
Yeah.
was that?
I don't remember.
'Cause
I
I
think it
think
was
they
it was
had-
like qualifiers for some big
Yeah.
tournament.
I
But
feel like it was more than that, but
they played like that stream is like 6 or 8 hours, and there's a total of maybe an hour of gameplay.
yeah, no.
The
There
rest
was-
of it
yeah,
is just us sitting on stream.
There's an hour in between every single game of we turn the camera on us because
Yeah.
we're the only ones in the lab on the weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we just have to fill the
Yeah.
time with
that
something.
was
and so
that was
it
the
was us.
that was the peak viewership stream
That was
when
a
I
good
ate
stream.
ramen for subs. When I ate dry ramen.
But
Which he'll do again if we get enough subs.
I
So
will.
make sure you guys
And I'll
get
sit
those
in a hot
numbers up
tub
once the season starts.
if we
Hot
get
tub
enough
stream.
donation.
We're waiting on the 10,000.
Yeah.
And then do you hear about this?
no.
You didn't hear about
Oh.
Okay,
it's,
so
it's been a thing for like
I've
It's like
heard
2
about
years
it
now.
hit or miss, but I thought that it kept getting vetoed.
No,
No,
I
it
never
never got
vetoed it.
vetoed.
I just gave him you have a goal.
Wayne gave us the go ahead, but it was
Oh.
our donation goal was 10 grand.
Weirdly enough, Wayne brought it back. I don't remember
Wayne
what we
brought
were
it back,
doing. It was
Um,
like a month ago, and he like came in. He's like, "No."
he said if we
speaking of
did like a
that-
subathon thing.
He's like, "I was
Um,
just thinking of that actually with doing like
And
these
we're
sub
like,
with goal
"The
like
hot
with
tub
goals,"
stream?
and we're like, "Why were you thinking of the hot tub stream?" And he's like, "Well, we set a goal where you guys
Yeah.
do that." I went, "Okay."
Have you considered including a woman in the hot tub stream?
See
No.
that? Then it feels weird.
Yeah.
Then
We
we're
already
using
one, we already have Colby. And
Well,
two,
we don't know. We don't know who will be on the hot
correct.
tub.
Exactly.
We'll do a hot tub stream. It could be women.
Yeah.
It's gonna be me and Colby.
It'll
It's
just
gonna
be
be
us two.
Colby.
So then
Because
people
all
see
I'm gonna
the-
say is I am a happily married woman, and I wear my rings. Like, I'm very open and honest. And I was casting this summer, and I'm getting a lot of weird.
where are we
looks.
going
Where are
with
we
this?
going?
I'm curious.
Um,
Because you
I'm
started
going-
this with "I'm happily married."
I feel like any marriage that's just not true, but
It's really easy to be happy when you never see the other person, because I'm spending all my time with you fools.
oh no.
Hey,
Oh,
she said we make her happy though.
We make her happy, guys. She's happily married.
Take notes.
You too can be happy if you come down to the esports lab in the basement of the Pittman
You can
Center.
please your wife if you live in the esports lab for a long enough time. This
Take
is the
notes.
spot
If you
to
want
be.
a happy wife, never see her.
You never see her.
Anyway, continue your story. Sorry
Continue
about
on.
that.
last summer or something.
I was casting, and there's an organization that I'm going back to do more work for, and my co-caster, is his name's DBZ. He's a completely great guy. He is like a decade older than me, black guy from Texas who works IT. And over the span of like 3 streams, this one really creepy viewer convinced himself that I was single. Like, literally in the chat, I'm at an hour, which means I'm past 15. Literally, and I mean word for word wrote, "Is she single?" because all caps, "God damn," like the one with the Y in it.
Okay.
And then when I saw it, I made a comment on air that I was married. The next week he goes, "Wait, are you married to your co-caster?" And my co-caster is also married happily, I'm assuming. And
Well, he works in esports, so he's got to be happy.
He's got to be happy.
Sorry, his wife has to be happy.
Yes,
That's the
yes,
one.
yeah.
and like this guy just could not get through his thick head that like I could be married to not hit. It's this whole really weird thing. Where I'm going with this is, yes, it's creepy. Yes, it's weird. As the receiver of a lot of it, yes, it's creepy. Yes, it's weird. But also it works. So
That's
why
why
are we
we
not
just-
using it?
That's why we say hot tub stream, and we don't say who's
That's
in
why
it.
we don't. Yeah, that's why we don't say who's in it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
With Joe and Jane.
Joe and Jane.
Oh, there we
Joe's
go.
pretty ripped.
Put them.
Can they get wet?
Yeah, they can get wet.
Okay.
Everything
anything
can
can
get
get
wet,
wet,
wet
yeah.
at least once.
Yeah. Whether they're.
I'm pretty sure those are like probably like $50 from the Vandal store, so let's not ruin them.
We get
Not-
10 grand if we do this hot tub stream. I think we can commit a
We
plushie
can-
or two to
yeah.
the bit.
True.
So,
Nope.
oh,
A lot of plushies to the bit.
I like that.
Ball
Hot tub
pit.
full of.
Mm.
Ball pit stream.
I'm on board with
A Joe and Jane pit. That feels weird.
It does a little bit.
You don't like that?
No, I'll pass on that one.
Okay.
Well, speaking of liking stuff, you should go ahead and like this podcast because we're at time, honestly. It's been an hour already. Look at that.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest I've ever talked to you three in one fell swoop.
No, there's definitely no way.
We've
No way.
definitely had
we
meetings
have
that go
meetings
like
with
an
each
We've
other.
had meetings go longer.
Yeah,
than
I
this.
haven't
no
talked
way.
with y'all in most of them. I just let y'all talk amongst each other and pipe in when I'm needed. Or occasionally argue with Carson about the jersey order.
True.
That did happen.
Hmm.
Also, I really hope most of our meetings don't go over an hour.
No. If
They
our meetings are
shouldn't.
going over an hour, it's an emergency.
That's a bad meeting.
But is there anything you want to shout out before we sign off?
I will say that this has been. If you asked me 3 years ago, if I was going to be sitting on 2 couches sponsored by Monster doing a podcast with you 3, I'd have told you were crazy. And it has been a very long journey between me in the hallway of the Albertsons building getting coerced to coach league by Wayne. Hallway of the Albertsons building, by the way. Like in between classes that we had with each other.
Mm-hmm.
To having a title that is my name is an acronym. And helping, I think we're at 85 odd unique players this season.
Mhm.
Academically, hopefully professionally, like all of that. And that I'd have been a reference for multiple people's job interviews and apartment applications. I'd have told you were crazy. So I will shout out the journey, the complete and utter sleep deprivation that this last month has been. You 3, we haven't always gotten along. Especially you. We haven't always gotten along on that one.
It's
I
always
get along
Vincent.
great with
It's always
Vincent.
Vincent.
I get along great with me. Great.
That's good at least.
That's why.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and we don't always get along, but I'm happy I'm doing this with y'all, and I'm happy there's more than just Wayne and I sitting in dark labs at 10:30 at night. At least there's a soft presence of knowing that Colby and Carson will be in the next day.
Not this guy.
Not
Not
this
that guy.
He gets fired every other week.
He does get fired every other week.
Feel like that's probably your own fault.
Definitely is not most of the time, but
No, and then
just know that we appreciate having you around too. You
And then-
do help run this lab.
shout out the teams for giving me a job.
Shout out to a good season. Let's get
Yeah.
some wins.
Hopefully.
Let's get some
Please.
wins.
Let's
Everybody go to playoffs.
shout out
and
our
not
teams
lose.
not being my 13th reason.
And with that, we have been Vandals offline. I think it's time that we head back online, gentlemen.
It's a play on words of offline.
Hopefully this doesn't age poorly.
No. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys next week with another episode.